You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
America, this is Rick Robinson coming to you live from CPAC 2017 in the beautiful downtown Maryland area at the Gaylord Hotel, and we are live with you right now. We have some incredible guests lined up for you today, some incredible guests, some eclectic guests, and a whole lot more, and we are coming to you live right now from CPAC 2017. If you're in the area picking up the broadcast, make sure you come visit booth 22. We are set up for the day, and we'll be here for the entirety. And what do you say we get this thing started right about now? Here we go. Alright folks, like I said, we are live at CPAC 2017. This is America Off the Rails, coming to you live from KLRNradio.com. Also available through CRNtalk.com, RedNationRisingRadio.com, AMFM247.com, iHeartRadio, and a plethora of others. So I want to give everybody a quick shout out for those of you listening live. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday morning. We have been here since really, really late Thursday night. Flew in around midnight, have been covering events nonstop ever since. Did some live broadcasting last night. This one will be going over to CRN here shortly. And we will also be doing basically about 5 hours of radio after this one's done, with as many things as we can cram in for you here. This is our second trip through CPAC under this banner and a previous one and some affiliations. So we've been here all in a total of now this is third time. This one's been a little different than most, though, because the last couple of times we've been here, had folks out here representing us, people were dejected. It's a much different atmosphere here. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit with one of the last interviews that we have set up is with Miss Martha. She is a character and a half, let me tell you. She is in her 80s. She has been to about 30 CPACs, and she comes in colorful hats every year. She is a Trump supporter. She is all in as a Trump supporter. We actually have a couple of those with us that we have interviews set up with, so you'll be catching that stuff here in just a minute. And just want to kind of go and give you an overall feel for the place. That the energy here has been electric. The folks in charge of CPAC have done a wonderful job this year, even with the extra headache of Secret Service, because we actually had Trump visiting us, and actually he gave a speech here yesterday. We have the entire audio for that will be coming in later episodes. Actually, we do have the whole speech in its entirety, so we are working on getting it ready to be used for future broadcasts. So for those of you who've missed any of it, we will have it for you here in just a bit. Now, as far as this show itself, we're about to get things kicked off here in just about another minute or so. And again, we will have live interviews going on throughout the day. So if you're in the area, make sure you come by, check out klrnradio.com right here at booth 22 at CPAC Live 2017. We're going to go ahead and take the first break just a little bit early, get it out of the way. We will be right back here in about a minute.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Folks, welcome back. We're live from CPAC 2017 right here on klrnradio.com. Of course, I am your host, Rick Robinson, host for Merry-Go Off the Rails. We're actually going to get this stuff kicked off. What do you say? We have an interview that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. So we've got that queued up coming up right here in just about a second or so. So what do you say we get it started? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Robinson. We're live right now from CPAC 2017 in the beautiful Gaylord Hotel. If you haven't been here yet, this is the only hotel I think I've ever been in that looks like it's in a small town. All right, so we are joined today by Mr. Mark Hayden with the group Conservatives Concerned About the Death Penalty, a project of EJUSA. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me on.
It's an honor to have you here. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what it is that you guys are working on and why it is that you guys are concerned about the death penalty? Because honestly, that's a bit of a different slant for conservatives. So.
Yeah. Well, we're a growing national network of conservatives and some libertarians who believe that the death penalty is inconsistent with our values. And, I say that because most of us are pro-life and we support fiscal responsibility and limited government. But the death penalty risks innocent lives repeatedly and inherently. And it costs far more than life without parole. And it's even led to tax increases. And, it's giving an error-prone government an immense power over the people. And I really don't think there's anything limited about giving this government the power to kill its citizens.
Well, some people would say that the death penalty is actually what would be considered the ultimate deterrent. What are you guys' stance on that?
Well, there's a lot of studies out there that have come out that shown that the death penalty doesn't deter murder. In fact, a lot of states, when they repeal the death penalty, they see their murder rates go down. So I don't think there's any sort of deterrent effect that's beyond what the life without parole, for instance, does. So there's other options out there that don't have the same drawbacks of risking innocent life and costing a ton of money, but it keeps society just as safe.
All right. Well, I have to admit, I'm actually pro-death penalty. I'm one of the... I have a libertarian friend who says that I should consider myself conflicted because pro-life, but also pro-death penalty, which happens to be a pretty standard mindset for most conservatives. And so are you guys facing any pushback on that? Are you getting positive feedback, negative feedback?
This is great. This is home for us. These are our people. I mean, these are principled individuals who support fiscal responsibility and limited government and pro-life policies. It's the 5th year in a row we've been here, and we're always inundated by supporters downstairs at our booth. And people always come up and say, we thought we were the only conservative that didn't trust our government to do this because we don't even trust them to deliver mail, let alone make life and death decisions over American citizens. So, no, it's always a great experience. But it's not just here. It's also in states. We're launching different conservatives concern groups at the state level in more than a half dozen states. And just in the past 2 years, there have been 12 states that have put forward repeal legislation that was sponsored by Republicans. So we know it's changing around the nation.
All right, so in case anybody is interested in finding out more about what it is that you guys are working on, where can they find your information?
Go to conservativesconcern.org, and if they want to send me any messages or want to ask me any questions, they can send an email to info@conservativesconcern.org. And
just because, as you said, you guys are finding that you hear people all the time that say, I thought I was the only conservative death penalty. So do you have any suggestions for those that may still be kind of closeted and not wanting to come out about the fact that they really don't like the death penalty?
Well, I tell you, so we're supported by a lot of great people. Jay Sekulow was one of our first supporters. Dr. Ron Paul endorsed our goals. We work with Richard Viguerie, who was an advisor to Ronald Reagan. I've been able to work with Colonel Oliver North even. These are some serious conservatives who are very against the death penalty, so they're not alone. And in fact, I can point to several recent polls that came out that showed that the majority of conservatives, and at least the plurality of Republicans, support repealing and replacing the death penalty when given a good option, like life without parole or life without parole plus restitution.
So I guess my next question would be, where do you think we go from here? What are you guys trying to work getting laws enacted, changing legislation? You said there was already work going on in, 12 states?
12 states, yeah, and there's other states that are elsewhere in the pipeline. But yeah, there's a lot of conservative states that you need to keep an eye on. Kansas is one of those that's inching closer towards repeal. Utah almost repealed it last year. It passed through the Senate. Almost made it through the House, but they just ran out of time on the last day of session. So, yeah, we're educational in nature, but we're also trying to repeal it on a state-by-state legislative basis. But what I find is, you don't have to do that much advocacy. It's about education, because when you see what our government does with this government program, it sells itself to repeal.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's about like every other government program. You don't realize how bad it is until you actually look into it. And I admit I have always been kind of pro-death penalty, but at the same time, I have started to research it from talking to folks like you and a few other people that I know that are conservative and yet still not supportive of the death penalty. And what concerns me is the fact that there are several instances where we know that innocent people were put to death.
Yeah, over 156 individuals have been wrongly sentenced to die, and those are the ones who were released from death row. But there was others who were executed who may have been innocent. People like Cameron Todd Willingham and Carlos De Luna, who were both in Texas. You can also look at Troy Davis. He was executed in Georgia, even though I believe every single eyewitness recanted. So, there is this real undeniable risk to innocent lives. So if you want to be able to execute the worst of the worst, you have to be willing to accept that kind of collateral damage. And I want to ask some of your listeners, if we as pro-life conservatives, can we really justify a program that kills innocent and guilty? I have a big problem with that, and I think you do too.
Yeah, like I said, just even from us talking, because like I said, I've already done a bit of research because I knew you were coming by today. I have to admit, the numbers, they're kind of scary.
They are scary.
You just don't know. There's too many instances back at it, and you're like, did put possibly an innocent man to death? And that's concerning. Or innocent individual, I guess we should say. Death penalty isn't gender specific. But I don't know. So, you've given me a lot to think about. Why don't we go ahead and give folks your information one more time?
Yeah, if they go to conservativesconcern.org, they can find a lot of information. They can sign up to our monthly email letter. And if they want to talk to me, ask me any questions, send me some fan mail, which I always appreciate. Info@conservativesconcern.org.
All right. Anything else you want to add on the way out?
No, that's great. Let's do it again soon.
Well, welcome back anytime, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, and that was my guest, Mr. Mark Hyden from Conservatives Concerned About the Death Penalty, a project of EJUSA, and he is one of the first interviews we have here scheduled for today. We have several others that will be coming, and we'll be doing more and more live content throughout the day as we go. I hope everybody's enjoying the show so far. I am thoroughly enjoying being here at CPAC 2017. There have been a lot of colorful characters. The next interview we'll have coming up after the break actually outlines one of the most colorful ones that we have seen. It's actually a gentleman who's been running around in variations of different costumes, and we'll have him explain some of that to you about why he does those things and some of the things that he's actually done throughout his life when we come back from the break here in just a moment. Just want to remind folks that if you are in the area, we are currently live and we'll be broadcasting throughout the day right here on CPAC 2017 on Radio Row. We are currently set up, and we'll be here for the remainder of the day at booth 22. So if there are any of you in the area that have wanted to meet any of the KLRN radio hosts, we do have several here. We have Dan Wright is here. I, of course, am here. We have Susan Swift here. And we also even have our very elusive station manager. I think she may be the one most everybody's been interested to meet because she never really comes out of hiding, except for to yell at me when I do something wrong. But anyway, we are going to have to take another really quick break, folks. When we come back, we will have a very special character, and I will allow him to introduce himself to you when we come back. This is America Off the Rails coming to you live from CPAC 2017. We will be right back here in about 3 minutes.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
right, folks, we are back. We are live right here, coming to you from CPAC 2017, right here on Booth 22 on Radio Row. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and we are going to get this thing kicked off right about now. We have another guest lined up for you, and as I promised, we're now going to move into the more colorful guests so far that we've interviewed at CPAC, and this one, without a doubt, is one of the most colorful, not the most colorful, but one of the most, and we're going to get that started right about now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Robinson coming to you live right now from KLR Radio at CPAC 2017. We are joined by a guest right now with us. With us right now, I have from Paris, France, Mr. Eric Spain. Apparently, he has... Actually, you know what? That's not the right interview. So, yay, joys of live radio. Give me just one moment. I forgot. We did somebody right before this guy. 1 second. I think this is the right one. Nope, that's my phone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Robinson coming to you live right now from CPAC 2017 on KLRNradio.com. I'm actually joined this morning by Mr. Joe Gazzardi. He's actually the director of Let's Save Some America for Tomorrow. His exact words when he introduced me to himself was, "I'm all in for Trump, and so is my organization." So, Joe, why don't you let some folks know a little bit about you?
My organization is Californians for Population Stabilization. We were formed 30 years ago and are very interested in immigration issues as they affect California. You know, California is right there on the front line when it comes to immigration. We have a very pro-immigration governor, Jerry Brown, pro-immigration United States senators, Dianne Feinstein and Kamala Harris, and a very pro-immigration state legislature.
I would take that a step further. I think you have a very pro-illegal alien, all of the above.
Absolutely.
There's a difference between immigration and what we're talking about, and that's one of the things that I wish the media would start clarifying a little more. None of us that are talking about the things that we're talking about when it comes to people coming into this country are opposed to immigration. We are, however, opposed to illegal aliens. Now, I'd like to point something else out as well, because I don't think too many people know this. Are you telling me there are still seriously conservatives in California?
There are 5 million Trump voters in the past election. 5 million Californians voted for Donald Trump. You would never know it, but that is, in fact, a very large number.
Well, the only reason I bring that up is because everybody that I hear talk about the West Coast, especially California, they just feel like it's a lost cause. And I think out of the thousands of people that follow me on Twitter, I think I have maybe 5 that are in California that are actually still... each of them calls themselves the last conservative in California. I'm like, well, that can't be true because I know 5 of you and you all say the same thing.
Well, there are those other 4 million plus people that voted for Trump and voted for him and enthusiastically.
4,999,995. So for those of you that live in California, conservative, trust me, you're not alone after all.
We think that California is not a lost cause in any way because a lot of people, a lot of my friends and their friends' friends are very disappointed with the changes that have come about in California because of immigration. I'm a native Californian, born and raised there, and it's discouraging to see the way the state has changed in the last 30 years with a significant flow of unchecked illegal immigration.
So I have some questions about that because, like I said, we do have a lot of folks that listen from California, but I have a lot of folks that listen from other places. So since you've actually witnessed it firsthand, you've mentioned a lot of changes. What are some of the things that you've noticed as the years have gone by that you're referring to as those changes?
There's been a complete transformation in the school system, the public school system. We have school districts in California, especially Bakersfield and south to San Diego, that have well over 50% of non-English speaking students enrolled. That makes it very challenging for the teachers to reach out to the American citizen kids. So education is clearly one area, perhaps the most obvious area. Other social service areas, hospitals, for example, overcrowded with illegal immigrants who come in allegedly on emergency basis, but the laws require them to be treated regardless of what their condition might be.
You know, that's another thing that I find interesting because that was one of the main pushing points for things like Obamacare was the fact that the media and the president at that time had pushed this ideal that people just didn't have access to health care. Mm-hmm. And I know firsthand from here, I say from here, I'm actually from Oklahoma, so for the moment I'm not really referring to here, I'm referring to home. There are signs posted in pretty much every hospital that they have a legal obligation to treat you regardless of your ability to pay. So it's one of those things that has driven me crazy about this whole idea that we have this whole, I think they were pushing a 12 million population of people, that folks that just weren't going to have access to health care if we didn't pass Obamacare. And that's nothing further from the truth. But at the same time, we do have an issue, like you said, with the illegal alien problem. We have a vast number of people that are coming in and they're able to use those services because they're required to be treated, but a lot of them aren't putting any money back into the system. So, and that's a drain on you guys' economy and almost everybody else's. Now, I guess one of my biggest questions is, I know that you guys have an organization built up around this, so what are some of the things that you guys are trying to do to influence change in California?
What we would like to see Donald Trump do, and what we're encouraging our members to encourage his administration to do, is to start with the easy things, or the easier things, to get his agenda going. That would include removing criminal aliens, which he's already begun to do, but the raids of 10 days or so ago only netted about 700, which is less than 1% of all of the criminal aliens out there. So that would be where to begin. We would really encourage him to get behind, 100% behind, mandatory E-Verify, which would really slow down the flow of illegal immigration into the United States. With E-Verify, if you are not an American citizen or a legal immigrant, you cannot work in the United States. So that would be a big plus. And then we would encourage him to fulfill one of his biggest campaign promises, which was to, effective day one, end the deferred action for childhood arrivals work permits. He seems to be caught up in a little bit of confusion on that. But at the very least, the administration should not keep processing new applications. If he wants to consider what he might do for renewals, that's one thing. But absolutely.
All right, folks, due to time constraints on the live broadcast, we're going to have to cut that one short. We've got to take a break. For those of you wanting to hear the remainder of the interview, we'll get it up on the website on a link here as soon as possible. A lot of this audio will be made available later as soon as we finish the trip out from CPAC. So we're going to cut this one short, take a really quick break. When we come back, and I want to apologize because that was actually not the right interview. So we'll have the really colorful guy here in just a second. That was not him, so I apologize, Joe. I didn't mean to call you the most colorful guy I talked to at CPAC. You were interesting, but not the most colorful. We will be right back here in just about 4 minutes. Clear. To clean up some.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Hardin. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at rahardin.com. That's the World Wide Web at rahardin.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
Alright folks, we are back. We are live right here from CPAC 2017, KLRNradio.com, America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and we are about halfway through the show now. I've got another interview I definitely want to get through, but sadly that means we're going to have to break this one up in pieces because we're getting long on show and got a couple of breaks in the way. Alright, so hopefully I can get the right one queued up this time. Give me just 1 second because I actually meant to do that while we were on break and got distracted by all the shiny things going on at CPAC. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are live right now from CPAC 2017. This is Rick Robinson, right here with KLRNradio.com, hanging out on Radio Row. If you're in the area, make sure you come see us. We're at booth 22. I'm actually joined right now by Mr. William Temple. And actually, I will let you introduce yourself because you can probably paint a better picture of yourself than I can. So,
well, my name is Lachlan McIntosh. I shot and killed Button Gwinnett. We were both officers of George Washington. He didn't like his officers dueling, but we were always fighting over boundaries. And my real name's William Temple, and I play the part of different colonial founders and go all over the country. Led the March on Washington, 2009. 1.9 million people right behind me. And one of the greatest events I've ever attended. And the Washington, D.C. has never seen a place so clean as when all of us flyover people left. We picked up even the cigarette butts. And, it's Indian tobacco, so we couldn't leave that lying around. And then I worked 32 years for the federal government, 8 years with Secret Service. For the Special Investigation Security Division doing counterfeiting and forgery, court boards. I'm not an agent. And then I moved to the Pentagon. Secretary of the Air Force's office, was there for 6 years, and then made my escape from the belly of the beast here in Washington, D.C., down to Brunswick, Georgia. Wonderful, still American state, and a former colony for the Scots. And I play the part of Lachlan McIntosh today, who was a Scotsman. And he was one of George Washington's generals. But I've made 8 trips up here to CPAC, and 8 of them, I'm hearing all kinds of heavenly noises in my ears. But 8 trips to CPAC, and all 7 of them have been to, as an activist, to overthrow the Obama regime. We don't call it an administration, it was a regime. And we first took back the House in 2010 with the Tea Party. And then we took back the Senate in 2014, and now the presidency. And so this CPAC is to celebrate our new president, Donald Trump. Now, I was against Donald Trump before. I was for Ted Cruz. He's my ultimate politician. But when we came down to the final battle between Hillary and Trump, there was no question. We had to redeem the Supreme Court for our children and our grandchildren. So thank heaven Hillary didn't win. Hopefully we'll put her in jail as soon as possible. I worked security for the special access for the Air Force when I was there, and I'd be in jail now if I'd done 1/16 of what that woman did with special access information. So that's who I am, and I'm also a pastor. In an elder at Northside Baptist Church, and I go all over the country representing the founders and their biblical principles for the Constitution.
Well, it sounds like you have led a rather interesting and eventful life. I had no idea that you were involved in Secret Service and military and a few other things. Now, since we are on radio, I want to take a moment to describe what you're wearing right now. You are in pretty colorful colonial garb. I've noticed you had the tri-corner hat on. Unfortunately, we've had you take that off so you could wear the headset. And you do have the Gadsden flag tied around your...
Right, that's because CPAC has become terribly bureaucratic. Last year they took away my flagpole, which I've been waving ever since. My first CPAC, I had my swords, I had my musket, downtown D.C. of all places. And I would have different outfit every year, my targe, my Scottish swords, and I play different people each day. I play Button Gwinnett the first day, first signer of the Declaration of Independence, and now I'm playing Lachlan McIntosh, who shot Button Gwinnett in a duel. I've also played Patrick Henry. I just did the inaugural prayer breakfast and did a speech as Patrick Henry, and reminding everybody that our Constitution is based on the gospel of Jesus Christ, where we get our freedoms, as opposed to the Muslims who we need to deal with on immigration because they believe in Sharia law as opposed to the Constitution. And most people are unaware of what Sharia law does to people. It doesn't allow freedom of speech, freedom of press, the right to bear arms, freedom of assembly. If somebody can tell me a Muslim nation that allows that, then I'll take it all back. But they don't. And they believe that Sharia law should rule, not the Constitution. So I'm adamantly opposed to them. And just like our third president, Thomas Jefferson, sent his little fledgling navy to wipe out the Muslim terrorists of his time on Tripoli, at Tripoli, the Barbary pirates, we did so because we knew at that time that the Muslim Sharia law was incompatible with democracy.
All right, folks, we're going to have to continue this interview after a really quick break, so stay tuned. We'll have our guest on as soon as we get back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Don't go away.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live right here from CPAC 2017. We're going to go ahead and finish the interview we had with our guest right before we had to take a hard break. And that will probably get us pretty close to the end of the show. We've got at least one more break we've got to get out of the way, but let's go ahead and get this one restarted, shall we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are live right now from CPAC 2017. This is Rick Robinson right here with KL. Hang on a second, folks. Sorry, I somehow queued up the wrong clip again. Fun times, fun times. I think what may have happened is I hit pause. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, that's him. I know it is. Give me just a second, folks. I apologize. Joys of Live Radio. I had it, and then I lost it, and now I don't remember where we were. No, I hit pause, not stop. What happened?
Don't buy the argument that, all Muslims don't believe in radical Islam. If you're a Muslim male and you're called to go to war, and you do not respond, you then become the enemy. So there is no middle ground with Sharia. It is a form of government. So you can't have two incompatible governments, democracy with freedom and Sharia law, which says everybody that's not Muslim is an enemy and can be mistreated.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up, because one of the arguments the left makes all the time is there are only, I think they say about 20, maybe 15, 20% of the Muslim faith is actually the radicalized Muslims. I have a question about that, though, because if that's such a small number, which let's be specific for a moment, because we're actually talking about a very large group of people, even though they try to make it seem smaller based on the percentage, because of the actual number of Muslims there are throughout the world. We're talking about millions and millions and millions of people that are potentially radicalized. But I still have another problem with that, because if we have all of these non-radicalized Muslims, where are they? Why are they not standing up and fighting in these Muslim countries? Why are they not holding their brethren accountable? I'm not even talking about here. I'm talking about in majority Muslim countries. Why are they not holding their brethren accountable?
Because you have to go to the Quran, which is their holy book, by their founder, Muhammad. Muhammad killed 300 Jews, cut their throats, males, because he was not accepted as a Jewish prophet. The Jews were like, we don't know any prophet named Muhammad. So he then decided that Allah had told him that they were free to persecute and kill Jews, that they were like swine. If you think about 20% of Germans during World War II were Nazis, but Guess who won? Guess who took over in Germany? The 20%. And you could not speak against it or you'd be put to death. Families were turning in their own family members. It's the same way with Muslims today. 20% of 1.5 billion is an awful lot of people who believe in Sharia and forcing Sharia on the world. If you're a non-Muslim, Muhammad taught them to strike the infidel in the neck. That is their doctrine. Now, I'm a Christian. I'm a pastor in Brunswick, Georgia. And Christianity teaches, love your enemy, pray for those that despitefully use you. So there's a big difference between the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of Muhammad. One believes in kill the infidel. The other one believes pray for those that despitefully use you. So take your pick.
I know which one I'll pick.
Yeah, there we go. Another convert.
All right, so, well, it has been a pleasure sitting down with you today. Do you have anything else you want to let the listeners know on the way out?
I just want to say, up the revolution. We won. We've won the revolution, and now we celebrate.
Today we celebrate, for tomorrow is another day, and we will see how long we can hold the line. It has been my pleasure, sir. You take care. All right, folks, we're back. We're live. This is Rick Robinson live right now, America Off the Rails, KLRNradio.com. CPAC 2017 has been a blast and a half, even if we have had some technical issues and soundboard issues and a few other things that have made the show a little rougher than usual this morning. I thank everybody for hanging out with us. For those of you listening later on some of the other affiliates, you're going to get most of this too, because we're not going to have time to sit down and clean it up like we try to do if something goes completely crazy on a live broadcast. Because it's just been one of those days, folks, and we're running out of time to get the files over. But anyway, it's been an interesting CPAC. We have some other stuff going on, and again, we're going to be live here throughout the day. So make sure that you come out and check out booth number 22, KLRNradio.com. Yeah, I know, it's end of the day and our last day of CPAC, so everybody's moved up to the front of Radio Row. We liked it right here, so we're staying put. Well, the thing about it is, first night we tried to do broadcasting, there was no internet. No matter how hard we tried, even with their help, we couldn't get the internet to work. So this booth, which we've been using since last night, has worked out for us really, really well. So even though we had the option to move closer and maybe snag even maybe a few more people here and there, we opted to stay here because we like it. This is our CPAC home, at least for the rest of the day. All right, so we're going to take another really quick break, then we'll give you my final thoughts on the way out the door because we are just about out of showtime. This is Rick Robinson, host of America Off the Rails. We'll be right back here in about 3 minutes.
Special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live, finishing up the America Off the Rails episode for Saturday, February 25th, 2017. We have been live from CPAC 2017. Of course, this would usually be the weekend review episode, but we figured live at CPAC took a little more priority. All right, so final thoughts for the show, and this is for those of you that are still on the fence with Trump. Look, I get it. I didn't vote for the man, but here's the thing. This was still a celebration of victory for us. Look, if you're a conservative, one of the biggest things that's going to be going on over the next few months is we are going to get a judge appointed to the Supreme Court. That is huge if you're conservative. Now, you can argue, bicker, and fight about some of the other things that are going on with Donald Trump, but that is huge. Just like Dan and I talked about last night, I was not a fan of the idea when I found out that they were starting to remove people from the gaggles until I actually did a little bit of work on that this morning and realized that has happened before. They talk about it like it never has. But these gaggles are not the big briefings. These are the little groups and the get-togethers where they kind of hash things out in more of a private setting. And those little smaller groups happen all the time. And there are people that are allowed, not allowed, and that's a thing. But everybody's making such a big deal about everything that Donald Trump says, does, anything he tweets. Please, if anybody is listening that has connections to President, to POTUS, give somebody else a Twitter account. He has people that can do that stuff now. He needs to focus. He needs the fingers do not need to be on the touchpad because he needs to focus. I like the man. And everybody that I've talked to, even the folks that may not have considered to do an interview, when I've sat down and I've talked to them, they like how personable he is. They like how he seems like an everyday average American. I don't know how many people that I've talked to at CPAC that have said that. And I think that's one of the things that has made him resonate with the American people. Now, granted, a lot of us look at it and say, well, you know, he was born into a rich family, and I'm not sure how that makes him an everyday average American. But the simple fact of the matter is he can relate to everyday average American people. And one of the things, because those of you who don't know, I actually met Mickey from the Jim and Mickey show. And we were actually talking in the Nicotine Anonymous area that everybody's called it out here at CPAC. There's the patios are actually open this year because the weather's been so nice. You can actually go out, you can get a view of the water, you can see the Ferris wheel, everything else. But, you know, she was talking, she comes from an area that has family really, really deep in blue Pennsylvania. And she said everywhere she went for the last few weeks before the election, she saw Trump signs everywhere. And that was not the first person that I'd heard that from. So that should have been a bellwether moment for us. And for me, it kind of was. That there was something that was different. There was something that we were missing. And that somehow Trump had connected with the American people. What I'm going to warn the media about today is Trump has managed to connect with the American people. And I want you to hold him to task. I want you to keep his feet to the fire. But this today assault on everything that the man says and does has to come to a close. It has to come to a close because you are losing the American people. You're doing it every single day. There should be, and there rightfully should be, outrage over press people that are excluded from meetings. But the simple fact of the matter is, apparently it's gone on a lot longer than we've known about because nobody's made a big deal out of it until now. So that's my point. We need to get consistent. And to those of you that are bigger in the media than yours truly, hold his feet to the fire, but quit nitpicking every little thing the man does. And those are my final thoughts for my final America Off the Rails live broadcast here at CPAC. However, we will be live off and on throughout the day with other hosts, other panels, other groups of guests. So we will still have live content going on out here throughout the day. So make sure you do check out Booth 22 right here live on Radio Row. This is America Off the Rails, coming to you live from CPAC 2017. This is going to do it for the America Off the Rails show for Saturday. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. And again, if you're in the area, come by, say hello. We've got Dan hanging out with me today. Susan Swift might actually make an appearance here later. And of course, you can meet the ever-elusive station manager who tends to hide unless she's coming by to smack me on the back of the head. We're out, folks. Have a great night. Take care. See, I said night. Can you tell I usually do the show at night? We're out, folks. Bye.